Settled here, you'll soon wish to venture farther. The unending lure humankind so often succumbs to.
Nightingale is a survival crafting exploration game set in a 1800s Victorian kind of style world with mystical, retrofuturistic, and fantastical elements. It is developed by Inflection Games in Edmonton, Canada, and Inflection Games is founded in 2018 by some of the ex-BioWare and ex-Ubisoft devs, and is also supported by Tencent. Now, the good thing about the game is I think the game looks great overall. Like, the color is really vibrant, the style is very cool because it's set in the 1800s or the Victorian kind of style. You know, got the overcoats, the ornate decorations, and all of that good stuff. And the combat is surprisingly fun. I found the melee weapons very satisfying to use. The combat is not just go in and stab, stab, stab. You have to wait for the enemy to attack, and you gotta time it just right, and then you can dodge out of the way, and you can move to the back. And backstabbing is really the most effective way to hurt someone or something, just like in real life. The world is very interesting. There's a lot of world building going on. There's a lot of backstories. You can see there's a lot of environmental storytelling. You know, things like machinery is being left behind or shipwrecks in the distance. You can see it. And then you also have floating islands and different mystical things that are happening. And you want to find out a little bit more about those. And as you explore, there's what they call the echoes, right? You can hear some of the story. You can also find letters, and that would kind of tell you a little bit of the lore. AI companions are really cool for those who don't have friends. I mean, they're working. I have friends, they're just working. They couldn't play with me. And there's a large array of items to make, like different building pieces, different roof pieces, different crafting things, and that made me realize how bad I am at building stuff. Gathering is very, very satisfying, like having trees pop into logs and they just drop from the sky, very, very cool, and breaking rocks into pieces, it's extremely satisfying. When you use the pickaxe on the rock kind of just crumbles, and the sound effects are really nice. It's really satisfying. You do feel the weight of the crystals or the minerals that you're mining. You feel the weight of the rocks that you just mine away, and it seems to break wherever you decide to pickaxe, so that feels really nice. And the weather is very, very cool because the weather actually hurts you. When it hails, it does damage to you. So it gives you a sense of anxiety. It's like, oh, I need to find somewhere to hide. I gotta find somewhere to hide. I can't. Whenever you're hiding in the tent or wherever you decide to hide because there's nothing else to do, it turns into a little bit of an ASMR experience where you just hear the raindrop, you hear the hail hit the ground. They did a really good job designing the soundscape, let your brain tingle while you hide out the hurtful hail. Now, the bad thing about the game, it crashes a ton on my machine. I don't know why. I don't know what is going on. I have a 5900X and a 3080 Ti, so, you know, a pretty decent setup with 64 gigs of RAM. It shouldn't be my machine. I've updated all the drivers and all that, but it's just really, really unstable. And also the gunplay is very, very clumsy. It just didn't feel right. And because, you know, there's a lot of BioWare devs on the team, obviously it makes sense why the gunplay is so. The gun doesn't reload until you decide to fire again. You know, I don't know why it does that. I feel like a Gears of War kind of reload system will work really, really well here, especially for the single action bolt rifles or the 4-shot pistol. So once it's empty, it goes into the reload cycle, and you can probably hit your reload button or something at the right moment to speed up the reload. That will feel very, very satisfying, and it will kind of connect the gameplay and give you more things to do while the weapon reloads to be more involved in the reload process. And the aiming was not working at all. It's just really confusing to aim, and you're looking at the crosshairs and you see there's a gap between the crosshair and you think that's where you ought to aim, right? Just like any other shooting game, but not so. You need to aim with the little dot that is barely visible in the middle of the screen. That's the place you need to aim. And also the recoil was really unpredictable. Like I was firing the 4-shot pistol, have no sense of where the bullet is going. I just had no sense what it was hitting, and if it'll hit something, no clue what's going on there. So the gunplay really does need a lot more work. For a game set in the Victorian age, there is a distinct and very disturbing lack of facial hairstyles. There's only 4 facial hairstyles to choose from. Literally unplayable, I think. I found this puzzle on top of a hill, and there's a couple of pyramids or pylons that you need to touch in the right order, right? And I was looking at it, I couldn't figure out a right way to do it. I didn't know which one was supposed to go first, and I don't know which one's supposed to go second, so I just tried them, and each time you got it wrong, some enemies pop out. I'm like, sure, that's fine, but like, there's no obvious indication as to which one's supposed to go first, which one's supposed to go second, right? But so I think a really good puzzle game, it would be something like Island of Insights, for example. That's how it should be done for puzzles. My biggest gripe with the game is early access. Why is this game coming out in early access? Inflection, you're a large developer with over 100 developers, and you're backed up by a billion-dollar company, Tencent. Why is this game coming out in early access? I don't think the game's ready, and plus, I don't think it's right for a large studio or a large publisher with large financial backings to be using the early access system. You can do a public beta test, you can do an open beta test, you can do a server stress test, you can do all sorts of tests as long as it's free for the consumers to test the game for you. That's totally fine. And don't have the consumers pay you to QA the game for you. Did you get a chance to play Nightingale? What did you think about Nightingale? What is your opinion on the game coming out to early access? And what is your opinion on large publishers or large developers using the early access platform? Let me know what you think in the comments, and see you guys next time. Bye.